everyone, I'm Kelsey,
JPatt.
and you're listening to the Box Officers Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Please continue to support us by leaving us a star rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode. Films can be convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, an infraction, or on the rare occasion found innocent. Now, this week, we are going to be reviewing A House of Dynamite. So if you have not seen it, you're going to want to pause this episode now because we're going to have a lot of
Watch it.
spoilers. Otherwise, we can get into the episode.
All I saw was Idris Elba, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. That's what got me interested.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people felt that way. Something I didn't know is that it actually initially released in theaters just like for a second back
Like a
in
day.
early September. And then now, it's being distributed by Netflix. But yeah, Idris Elba. I personally also was sat for Rebecca Ferguson. Everything that woman does is art. That is
Is
a
that the
true thespian. That is the lady that was in. Look, now I'm gonna pause this
the
right
white
now.
woman?
Yes. I am not a government, official, whatever. I don't know. So, whoever's listening to this, forgive me when I'm off. I don't know
Yeah.
what room that was. I've heard of the Situation Room. That's about it. I'm not going to be saying the things correctly. So, I'm going to describe it to you
Sure.
in the best way I can. Sorry. So, yes, the white lady in the room at the beginning. That's all I could do. The mother. Also, Anthony Ramos. If you had seen Hamilton, which have you?
Yeah, I've seen Hamilton. Yeah, he's in it.
Wow, this is
Yeah,
surprising.
it was a while back.
I'm impressed. Well, our guy Anthony is from that. He's in a few other things. Overall, a really cool cast. Willa Fitzgerald, who was in the movie Regretting You that we just removed.
Yeah, I was not present, I believe. I don't think I
Oh,
was present
I was
for that,
like,
yeah.
you act like you don't know. So she was just in that movie. Also, Gabriel Basso, I believe. Forgive me.
Not like that, so.
I don't know if you watched his show on Netflix,
What show was it?
The
I'm
Night
bad with
Agent.
faces. Night Agent. Oh, that's him. Yeah, yeah. I saw like the first season, I think.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good show.
yeah, pretty
So
good.
he's here. Greta Lee, who, correct me if I'm wrong, was she not in Tron?
Yeah, that was her. Yeah.
Okay, we got
So
her.
she's been busy.
Jared Harris, who is an icon. The cast alone,
That's pretty stacked cast.
stacked. So I knew, if nothing else. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Renee Goldsberry,
Where's she from?
Hamilton.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Angelica,
From that.
yeah, the OG. I love this for them. A bunch of talented people in the room saying, "Hey, we're gonna
Right.
make history," and I think it did really well. That first weekend, I won't go off of the box office because that doesn't count.
Yeah.
22.1 million views on Netflix that first weekend, those first 3 days. That's pretty good.
Dang, why does Google have like a 1.6 star rating on it? I don't think it was like, I don't know, we'll get into it. I was just looking at it and I see like 76% Rotten Tomatoes, but 1.6 on Google, and it has like 10,000 something ratings. They kind of bombed it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah,
as well. It's not looking great.
it's not,
76%.
but you gotta, you
Yeah.
gotta, you gotta explain. Are we gonna start with what it did
Well, we
well?
can get to the bottom of that. That's what we do here. We'll start with the positives.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the positives. So I did really like, I don't know, I felt the tension. Like I felt the tension build up. So I did really like that, especially with something like a situation like that being like so real or could actually happen. That tension was there. I feel like they did a good job with that. Like they did a pretty good job keeping the tension throughout the film. In my opinion,
Agreed.
that's what I really liked about it. Just the whole DEF CON, you're in a situation where you either hold back or you go like into a full-on nuclear war, and you're seeing like all of the choices each person has to make, or like how it weighs upon them. Because honestly, I don't know, like some of them in that room, like they were like keeping themselves together. But me, I would have been feeling that. Like I would have been tweaking out a bit. But
Same.
it's their job. But I feel like if this was like real life, everybody would have been tweaking out. Like
They didn't
I
seem,
know,
not everybody seemed like they was keeping it
yeah,
together, to be honest.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Well, not all of them, but yeah,
some of y'all are getting fired if
yeah,
you're still
for real.
alive. Yeah. I agree with what you said though about the
Yeah.
tension being kept. I cannot tell you the last time I watched a movie where I was like that on edge the whole time because I was
Hmm.
just I don't know, I wasn't aware that it was going to be like repeating the same 15 minutes over and over. So I'm waiting for it to like escalate.
Yeah.
And then the more insight you have, the more weight this situation has. Also,
Right.
I mean, I don't know how accurate all of this is, but I did like that I felt like I was learning something, which I think is part of the point of the
Hmm.
movie. Like I said earlier, I don't know about this stuff if we're being honest. So, DEF CON, I'm watching a movie googling what is DEF CON 1? Like is this like the worst? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm googling the like I like the text on the screen. I love when a movie has words on a
They
screen.
did.
I
Yeah,
just
they did
love
good with that. Yeah.
I love tell me something. Set the scene. Tell me where we're
Yeah.
at.
I think one of the texts said something like hitting a bullet with a bullet or something, and it just popped up on the screen. And then that just built up more tension for
Like
me. Yeah.
chapters for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chapters, yeah. Yeah.
And it another time it said like a house of dynamite or something because it's based on like that person's perspective and like their thing, and I
Right,
thought that
right.
was really cool. But I also like just telling me, oh, we're at this military base, we're here at this, in this room, because I wouldn't
Hmm.
have known if you didn't tell me. And I felt like I was learning, so I was googling while I was watching, and I was seeing like, okay, this is like fictional, this isn't like, what can I take away from this? And I really liked that. I felt like I left a little bit smarter, more informed, which I think is part of the
Yeah.
point of the movie is like some of us we aren't thinking about this stuff. Like that could be happening right now. We could have 16 minutes to live right now. We wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And so it's just
Yeah.
like we're not thinking like that all the time, but I feel like it was a good conversation starter and a good like spark for like independent learning, maybe, I guess. So that was really cool. Have you seen White House Down?
Very long time ago. What? That was like early to like
Yeah, super old.
2014 or something like that. That
It
was a really good political
literally
drama. Yeah.
yes.
That was really
And
good. I
I
remember that
when I
being pretty
think
good.
of it's so good. I don't know why, but I loved that movie bad. I love a political thriller. Or
Hmm.
it doesn't even have to be a political like thriller, like even TV shows, stuff like Scandal. Obviously that's so different from what we're watching now, but just like put me in the
Yeah.
White House. What's going on? What are y'all doing over there? I like that. So it was a fun movie, and I thought it was, important, kind of like, and
No, for
stressful.
sure.
I love suspense. If I could pick one thing to feel when I watch a movie, it would be suspense. I need to be holding my breath,
Hmm.
clutching my pearls even. And that's what I was doing here. I actually shed a tear. I don't be crying in movies
Really?
unless actually
See, if a movie
I
makes you
don't
feel something, then it's good. I feel like
I
it's
don't know if
good.
I like to cry after when I like to reenact the movie. So as the actress, I'm crying. But no, this was like I shed a tear when the lady so the character Olivia, Rebecca Ferguson, she's like trying to
Breaking
call her
down.
husband,
Yeah, yeah,
and you see her like he doesn't answer, and she has that
yeah.
moment where her face like cracks, and then she pulls it back together so that she could go lead this team. And I was just like, that has got to be the most scary, heartbreaking
Oh, for
thing in
real.
the whole world, because you can't even tell your son like goodbye, you know
Yeah.
and you're trying, and you know that you can't even, you really shouldn't have your phone, and you know that your son might have like a few minutes to live now, and you can't
Yeah.
even get in touch with your husband. I felt like, dang. Now tell me this. Am I wrong? Because I could be wrong. The black man in her room,
Yeah, yeah. The
right?
one that was right next to her, yeah.
Sitting next to her. Is he or is he not a terrorist? Is that what
That
they were
man
trying to
doesn't.
tell me?
No, I don't think they're trying to say he was a
Okay.
terrorist.
Okay, let
No.
me tell you why. Because he was being so suspicious, was he not? Or is that like how he shows anxiousness? Because it came across as in, like, I felt like he was up to no good. Because why did he take so long to bring the phones? Because I feel like that was meant to show us that she also thought something weird was going on. Because she was
Yeah.
looking around like either he abandoned, like he's scared and he ran away,
Yeah.
or oh, this man is up to no good. I felt like he was up to something suspicious. Because
I didn't
didn't something else
really.
happen earlier on in the movie where I was like, that's weird. But it could just be like fear, you know?
Yeah, I
And
think
that
I
could
think
have
it
been
was
what I was
just
thinking.
fear because I didn't really get that vibe. I felt like there was no like inner conflict there. It was like I
Oh,
mean, inner conflict besides them dealing with their own personal feelings about it. But I don't think it was a thriller in a way where it's like one of us are the terrorist and there's some like inner drama where it makes you think, okay, who's betraying them? You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that
I
vibe from it,
definitely thought
even
a few
though
of them were terrorists.
now I there was one guy I kind of looked at like sideways. It was he was like a security guard for the president, and he was like Asian. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
yes,
about?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, I did get that vibe from him because I don't know when they do when they do the camera work on certain characters and stuff, or
Exactly.
the things they say, I'm like, like, am I expecting one of you guys to be the person who betrays everybody? I thought that's where the movie was going, but you really never see anything, amount after that. It's just
Yeah.
some people are just suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like I that felt misleading to me, but it could be because I don't understand them and the situation that we're in because I will say I also thought that the young man carrying the nuclear football,
Yeah, I am
I
too. Yeah.
thought that he was finna blow this up immediately. Like, okay, so I saw that
Yeah.
first scene he was in. He has the briefcase, right? And I,
Hmm.
or yeah, briefcase, and he's sitting like with the secretary's receptionist lady, and he like moves it, and she's like eyeballing it, and I was like, she's eyeballing it because she's finna press a panic button and say, "I found him. I found the mole. Like it's over."
Yeah.
Turns out she's eyeing it because she knows, like,
Yeah. She
you know,
knows. Yeah,
that's
what it
not
means.
a nice briefcase.
Yeah.
Briefcase holds a lot of power, so it would make anybody kind of look at it and take a deep breath. But I was like, oh my goodness, they're trying to tell us that he's like suspicious because then he like moved it to the side just a little. I said,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, he's gonna blow up the president right here, right now. He did not. So I think some of it could be like a misunderstanding on the audience's part, me being the audience.
They
But
could have
yeah,
even
I
done
just
that.
knew it was an inside job.
Yeah, they could have even done that on purpose, like to make the audience kind of like wonder if it could be an inside job, just
Yeah.
just to make the situation even more tense. Because it's like, okay, are we focusing on the huge problem at hand, or do I need to look for somebody who might betray them? Is there a plot happening behind this main plot of them trying to stop this missile? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it kept me engaged in that way, where I'm like paying attention to small things, even though I felt like nobody was too suspicious. But when I saw that bodyguard, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I need to be paying attention to that guy. Because like, why are the cameras on him?
He
Why
was
is he saying the
hating too.
things?
He was hating.
Yeah,
I was like, how you hating on the president? And he's just
yeah,
like helping the girls play basketball right now.
yeah.
This is not the time.
Like even the other
It was
security guard,
weird.
the white guy, he looked at him. He was like, why are you talking, man? He was like,
Like
why are you talking?
it's
That's like,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good though, and I thought somebody who had like a standout performance, like obviously Rebecca Ferguson, but
Hmm.
I would also say Jared Harris, the guy who ended up like walking off the building.
Yeah.
that was
That
another
was out
one
of
that like
nowhere.
did really well and pulled on the heartstrings. And I feel like because he was shown, like all of them were shown in all three parts, but he was really, we got his full perspective, like,
Right.
and each time I could feel like a different emotion from him. Like one felt very like hard and cold, but like, we're here to get business done. And then you see the perspective, and it's him and his daughter, and it's like,
Mm.
it's sad, and you feel like empathy for him. And I think it's really hard to portray like the same 15 minutes over and over and over again and have people feel differently about it every time. And I feel like he
Yeah.
successfully like did that. I think they all did, but his really stood out because,
Yeah.
and I was shocked as well with
Yeah,
the way
definitely.
he
They
his
did
story
stretch
ended.
that 15 minutes. They stretched it out pretty well. And
2 hours.
yeah, yeah, two
Two
hours.
hours.
I think I was definitely more stressed when it came to the guy he was like negotiating with the Russian foreign
Yeah.
minister or whatever. Yeah. And he was like he said something like, he has a pregnant wife or something, or where he kind of like broke down for a second. But it was that
Yeah.
interaction between the two, like even though they're kind of looking at each other as like enemies, like who shot this missile, you could also see the empathy there where
Yeah.
the Russian minister, he was like, like he understood, like they were both in a tense situation. But that phone call made it seem like, man, like if he messes up this phone call, then
Like we're
it's all
done.
out war. Yeah. I can't even
And
imagine
that's
being in them
something
shoes.
crazy. I would
Yeah.
actually, maybe I would walk off the top of of a building, because like at the end of the day, that was really cool for two reasons. One, again, I don't know why. I did
Yeah.
not know, and this makes so much sense, that in situations like that, other people would be doing the negotiating on something that large, especially, and
Hmm.
this kind of goes into why I also thought it was so cool. This is a character who in that first act looks like completely disheveled, all over the place. We know he don't know what he's doing. Who let this man in the club? They're trying to kick him out the Zoom chat at this point because he's, you're hurting the cause. We have 16 minutes, like, please. And then
Yeah.
um in that scene you really see like why he is in the position that he's in, because of the way he's able to navigate that situation. So it goes from
Hmm.
being like, oh, this is like a younger guy who like really shouldn't be here, to like, wow, like he could be the reason that our world still exists, like our country's still here.
Yeah.
And just like the duality of that is really cool, the way they showed us that. But yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation. And even being the president, I feel like literally you don't know. And I feel like that's what that phone call was showing, but also like that third act with Idris Elba, like you are just trusting. It's just everybody, you got to trust their word or don't. And then it's like a thing where if you don't respond, like they blew up Chicago, if you don't do anything because you're
Yeah.
trying not to start a war, unfortunately like somebody else will come for you because now you look weak. And so they're like, oh, we can blow up whole cities in the US and nobody's going to do anything. Why
Yeah.
would they not do it again, So it's a lose-lose situation.
So did that
I
missile
also, I don't know
I
what.
was gonna ask, did that missile hit Chicago before the movie ended?
Seems like we're into the things we didn't like category now.
I
We
okay.
don't
Well, I did not
freaking
like how
know.
it ended. Yeah.
We don't know. I just knew the credits rolling were like, oh, they're trying to give us some credits, and then there's like that end credit scene or something.
I literally like skipped past the credits because I'm like, wait, come on,
There's,
like you're not gonna tell me what? Yeah.
we don't even know, because here's the thing, a
Right.
lot of times those don't even go off. So it's like we
Hmm.
don't know if Chicago like is still with us or not. We don't know if the president, because regardless of if like the missile like or the bomb goes off, right? Somebody did try to bomb you. So it's like we don't know how the
Yeah.
president responded. We don't know what his decision was, because we saw him ask for the book, ask for the codes, but it seemed at the time like it really could go either way still. So we have zero conclusion. I hated that, because why did you keep me here for 2 hours? Show me the same 15 minutes over and over and over just to not resolve the
Yeah.
problem. I don't like that at all.
Like you have three different stories, and they all build up to this one point, and
Like,
then nothing. Just boom. You'll never know. Like, okay.
don't, like, are you laughing at, like, I feel like y'all are playing in my face now. I feel like
Yeah.
canceling my subscription because why? I don't understand. And I feel like this is one of those movies. I get why people do that because they're like, I want you, the audience, to have your own interpretation. I'm tired of that. If I wanted to interpret things myself, I would go write a
Yeah.
book. But I didn't. I turned on a movie. You were supposed to have a complete thought and deliver it to me. It just feels lazy. Like, it feels
Yeah.
unfinished. You know, it doesn't come across as like insightful. The movie itself was a conversation starter. Now, I've seen people say that basically if they had given us an ending, we would have been like, sorry to Chicago, like, poor you guys. Instead, without it, they're like, you have to like sit with that feeling of like responsibility and like
Mm.
concern because you don't know. And so they think it's more impactful that way. I would argue, I see what you're saying, but I think it would have sat with me either way. Even if you didn't show me what happened with Chicago, I needed to know what decision the president made. Like something. You have to give me one or the other. You took
Yeah.
away
Just
everything.
let me see the,
What was
yeah.
the point?
Yeah. It was like, just at least let me see the decision. And I'll be honest, like, it's normal to be curious. Like, it's normal to be like, I want to see the city go boom. Or, like, I want to see, okay, it sounds bad. But I feel like it's normal to be like, I want to see the aftermath or what would happen. What would it realistically look like? You know what I'm saying? So I guess after all of that, you want to see what the president decides to do. And if he decides to send a nuke out and you see the nuke hit this city, I feel like that adds even more weight to it because you're watching a realistic outcome of a nuclear
Consequence.
warhead. Yeah. And I feel like that would sit with anybody who watches it because it's like we need to stay as far away from this outcome as possible because this is exactly
Yeah.
what happens and this is everything that happens in the like government rooms and stuff leading up to stuff like this. What they have to deal
Yeah.
with and then what they're trying to prevent. And then you see what they're trying to prevent, which is Chicago getting blown up. But you're already carrying that tension, you're already carrying that stress that they all had in that war room. I feel like people don't
Yeah.
I feel like not enough media dives into that. They're all about the
On
action. They're all
purpose.
about yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all about the action. They're all about, oh, this goes boom, this is what happens afterwards. But I think I've seen few shows or movies that are like this is everything that's happening before then. Like
Yeah.
I think the part that piqued my interest is where they were negotiating with another country, or they're literally talking to another country while a missile is on the way to them. When it's like, nah, y'all could have sent that missile to us. We're gonna send one right back. But they're literally having conversation like that. You guys send a missile to us. No, we swear we didn't send a missile. Are you lying to me? You know what I'm saying? It's like that
Yeah.
is crazy to see that go on. But
It
yeah,
is
that's
crazy.
no.
Like the craziest thing I've seen in a while, maybe.
Imagine they like lying like straight to your face, like, no, we didn't send that missile
Yes.
your way, like, and you really wouldn't ever know. You really wouldn't in a situation like that. You really don't know. And
And
you
I
really
think
don't
that's the
know if they're going to
scariest
lie.
part
Yeah,
because
yeah.
normally you do know. And so I think that was like why they were so scared because they're like, how did it go undetected? Which is another reason why I thought it was coming from inside the house because, like,
Hmm.
how did nobody see this until it was already like on its way? Also, like them trying to intercept it and that not working. I think there were just a few moments there where it was like worst case scenario across the board. And then I think that also, like you said, the dialogue, the tension isn't coming from the explosion. The tension is coming from the minutes leading up to that and the pressure of having like billions of lives on, well,
Right.
thousands of lives on in your hands. And I think that the cool thing about it is that, well, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot. If you think about it, had they just given us the ending, then people would have been talking about the movie as a whole. I think the public would have been like, oh, this movie was crazy, it's eye-opening, we need to have these conversations, like, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Instead, I've seen the most discourse in regards to the movie about like the fact that there's no ending. So the movie's amazing, it's so good, but the fact that there's no ending has
Yeah,
overshadowed like the more
overshadowed it.
important conversation that they were hoping to start. So I feel like they shot themselves in the foot there by not trusting us as an audience to go about, our lives and have those conversations on our own. But
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I think what they could have done. I had a great idea. They should have done two endings to the movie. They should have done one
Mm.
where he does respond and one where he doesn't respond, and show us like the endings. And then you just go to the theater and like you don't really know which one you're seeing until it's like on streaming and you
You
can
know
choose
what?
like which ending you watch.
Now Netflix could have done that because you know how they did that interactive show.
Black Mirror thing.
Yeah, the little Black Mirror thing. Or they also could have done the thing that we recommended for the long walk, where he approved, there's a chaos scene where he's like, send the missiles. You see a missile hit, and then you see all the missiles flying out. Like, think about what's his name? You remember the ending of Oppenheimer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you see all the missiles. You like that carried weight, like
Yeah.
when you saw that at the end of the movie. And he was like,
Yeah.
a world of fire. I can't remember. He said something like a chain, chain link or I don't know, chain reaction. Yeah,
Something.
said something about a chain reaction. But with this movie, it could have been like a whole fake out where you see all of that happen, and then it goes back to him, and then he's like, "Don't do it." You know what I'm saying? It's like all of that stuff happens in his head. I know it's cliche, but it's like
Yeah.
all of that stuff
Like a
happens in his head. Yeah.
yeah.
But that was him just thinking about it. And then he decides not to press the button. And, all of that chaos is like, it never happens.
It's just
But
not real, yeah.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
would have satisfied us more than nothing.
yeah, yeah, more than nothing.
Absolutely.
It definitely would have been, it might have
What
been a
would
little
you
cliche but it would have been better than just, hmm. And then it just goes like black, like
like
the movie's
yeah,
over. Yeah.
that was so annoying.
Oh
So,
well, yeah.
what would you rate it?
It's getting a couple lashes. Like it's getting lashed up a little bit. Like yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna behead it. I'd give it a infraction. I'm gonna give it an infraction just because of the ending. But for most of the movie, especially that first part, it was such a really good hook, in my opinion. Like it really got my attention for the rest of the movie. But it didn't have me feeling fulfilled at the end of it. Because after it went black, I was literally like skipping 10 seconds ahead. Like, what? Like, is that it? Did I miss something?
Mhm.
I guess you could call it, this might sound inappropriate. Some would say movie blue balls. You get what I'm saying? So,
Some would
infraction,
say.
yeah. Some would say.
I
Maybe just
understand.
me, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say some. If you
We could
guys give
cut
it
that.
some,
We
let
could
us
cut that
know
out.
so
We
he
could
can
cut
find
that
his
out.
community. It's probably going to be left in, but we'll see.
The
So,
Tronnies
yeah, I
know. The
mean,
Tronnies
I
know what's
agree
up.
with you. Also I would also give it an infraction for the same reason. I
Yeah.
didn't like the ending. Other than that, I would have given this an innocent. I think it's really hard to make a movie that is this repetitive, be this interesting, and have you on edge to this extent. So honestly, I was super hurt by the ending because I love the movie so
Hmm.
much, but I'll still be rewatching it. I definitely will recommend it to people, and I was happy to have seen it. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
A
I
House of
might
Dynamite.
watch I might watch some I might watch White House Down again. So yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
We're in
I
our
got a bit of
political
a
era. No, we're not.
not, but I got a bit of a vibe of White House Down from it, but it didn't pop up in my head until you said something. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. That was pretty good. But yeah,
Super good.
I did enjoy the movie for the first part, so but Infraction,
Same.
and I think that's where we'll, bang the gavel at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not too bad in our professional opinion. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get a ticket and you're gonna be okay. We want to know y'all's thoughts on it because this was a very controversial movie ending, and I'm sure a lot of you agree, but some of you might disagree. So let us know what you think. You might add a new perspective that we haven't had
Hmm.
yet. Next week, we're going to be back here reviewing Bugonia. So if
Ooh.
you haven't seen that, we want you to run to the theater, see that, so you can be back here next week with us on the Box Officers podcast.
See y'all later.